going to show you how to make gradients in Illustrator, which is another thing that Illustrator does very well. So the first thing you want to do is get the gradient panel. So go under Window, look for Gradient and choose it, and then go back to Window and look for the Swatches panel if it's not already open. Okay, so the first thing that I like to do, which I have done already, is to click on one of these gradients in the swatches that already exist. So you should have one that looks like this, or maybe one that is similar. Don't choose the black and white one, that one's more difficult. So first choose a color gradient, and then you can turn this gradient into anything that you want. So to begin with, these little things that I think look like houses, those are called color stops. So you select one, see how it's white? That means it's selected. And then I double click on it and I get these sliders so I can change the color. So I can make it, for example, blue. Okay. And then maybe this one, maybe I'll make cool colors. I'm gonna make green. This one, maybe I'll make kind of a purple. Okay, so these two I don't want. So what do? I just click on them and drag them off. Okay, I'm clicking on this one and I'm dragging it off. So then if I want to add one, I just click right underneath this bar, and then I can go ahead and add another one. So I'm gonna make that a light blue. Okay, and something else you can do is you can make it transparent. So when that's selected, you can also change the opacity. If you make it really transparent, it's white because it's showing my white background through. I'm going to make that 100 again. You can make it linear or you can make it radial. So those are two other options. So once you have something that you like, then you can drag that down to the swatches panel, and then you can use that whenever you like. So there's one additional thing you can do with this, with the gradient, and that is in this toolbox there's something called a gradient tool. So when you select an object and then click on it with this gradient tool, it gives you a mini gradient panel within this object. So I have these houses. I can click on the house and then I can change it directly on the object. So I can get rid of that whole green, and you can also manipulate how it's applied to the object. So you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, right? See how it's applied? You can rotate it, which is sometimes difficult to get this rotate icon. You have to be a little bit off of it. It's hard. You just have to hold your mouse around it until you get that the icon that you want. So that's how you do gradient. And something else that you may enjoy is that this is opacity for the entire object that's selected. So you can make the object transparent as well. And then don't forget, you can make an individual part of your gradient transparent. And then these manipulate how much of one color or how much of the color next to it you want to have in your gradient. So there's a lot you can manipulate, and then again you can save anything that you want by dragging it into the swatches panel.